It's the ride to work. Oh. And sometimes the steering wheel is really hard to turn in the morning when it's cool. As a kid, junior high and high school, I used to listen to some pretty heavy music, heavy metal. Just to be specific, I listened to heavy metal. And there were certain bands I'd listen to, and there were certain bands I wouldn't listen to. I would listen to Metallica, but I wouldn't listen to Slayer. Slayer just seemed too satanic. Boy, yeah. And as I got older, as I went further through school, I noticed these other bands were coming out, Cannibal Corpse and Gwar is as ridiculous and stupid as Gwar was or is. It seemed cartoonish, but now it doesn't seem so cartoonish to me because things are becoming so depraved. As far as the culture is concerned, it used to be the old heavy metal acts, were the ones that were considered to be devil music, and Madonna was supposed to be wholesome. Madonna. And it just goes to show the lack of discernment in the culture, because Madonna was always an Illuminati-controlled puppet. Do you remember Desperately Seeking Susan? Nobody remembers that? She wore the jacket with the pyramid. Come on. But it's escalated it's de-escalated to new lows. When we've got Illuminati puppets like Rihanna and Kesha and these others. Just very sad people. Basically promoting that, they're going for your children. They want to corrupt your children, and they've said so with their mouths. And, I'm really disappointed because I thought, Satanism was something just, reserved for, the darkest and the heaviest music about. No, that never was the case. That never was the case. There was never anything wholesome about the Backstreet Boys or Belle Biv DeVoe or even Destiny's Child. Do you remember that? Yeah. Beyonce. Yeah, she is the Queen of Egypt now, man. She is the Queen of Egypt today. Everybody takes their cues from her. And they all still take their cues from Madonna. Yeah, I've had to deal with Madonna my whole life. It's really pathetic, you know, that something so beautiful as music. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I'm one of these rare people who doesn't believe that there is such thing as evil beats, or evil notes, or evil chords. Everything belongs to the Creator. And it's been hijacked by more nefarious elements. So, you know, being a musician, I'm not afraid to rip and shred and thrash and, make dark sounding music, because if it fits the tone of the direction of the music, that's what it calls for. That's what you're going to use. You know, you should not be afraid to use minor scales. That was neat. You should not be afraid to use, more dissonant sounding note combinations. You shouldn't be afraid of that just because the demon-possessed people are using it. I think that's wrong. You know, I don't think there's anything wrong with a tribal beat or a or even a dubstep drum pattern, you know. I don't think there's anything wrong with those things. It's what they're being used for. It's the it's not the music that it establishes it as demonic music. It's the use of said music. It's the concept behind the lyrical content, and whether or not you're at all interested or even believe in the backwards masking, it is a real thing. It is a real thing. There's guys who came around in the 80s who, basically showed you that, Led Zeppelin records are all about, demonic enterprises. And I don't discount that. I don't discount that. But it's just like I said in the Frauds of the Spirit video. I mean, that's, as believers, as the righteous, that's our power. That is a gifting of the set apart spirit that's been hijacked. And we need to reclaim that. I mean, I don't care, what other people, other perhaps self-righteous people or well-meaning people who don't know any better may say about it. That's our power, and we shouldn't be afraid of it. That belongs to the King of the universe, and you just go out there and claim it, and just say, look, this doesn't belong to you. You must repay. You have stolen this. This doesn't belong to you. You must repay. This power doesn't belong to you. And we, as the mighty, the chosen, the elect, if you will, need to just go out there and claim it and say, hey, this does not belong to you. This is my power, And I have the authority to wield it. I don't just have the power, I have the authority to wield it and to wield it over you. But, you know, I mean, this all goes along with the cultural relevancy crap that I was discussing before. You know, cultural relevancy is moot. It doesn't jive. We're supposed to be set apart. Sure, we can use that music as the tool, but you must be careful with it. You must be tempered in your resolve to use it for good, because the enemy can come in and take what you meant for good and use it for evil. He has the power to co-opt, but he doesn't have the authority to maintain control. So, you know, we're not in a position to mince words and to mislead, because that person, you know, the person who you deceive intentionally or unintentionally, that person's blood will be on your hands. But I don't have any fear of certain, you know, of certain types of music that are considered to be demonic. That's a power that has been co-opted. And so, you know, going back, you know, it doesn't matter if it was Metallica or Slayer or Guns N' Roses or Cannibal Corpse, you know, all those things lead to the same place. They, you know, that was my lack of discernment. That was my inability to separate clean from unclean, set apart from profane. But at the same time, we as believers who are strong on our faith should not be afraid of that stuff. We you know, we wouldn't. I've, you know, looked at the dark face and seen the depths of depravity and come out unscathed. And with what's ahead of us, if we can't be mature enough to look at these things and see them for what they are and not be corrupted by it, then we've got a lot of work to do. We have got a lot of work to do.